Local productions on QTV are made possible with support from viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to Uncommon Sense. I'm Junia, and thank you for joining us. My guest today is Beverly Przystas. Bev is the Extension Educator for 4-H Youth Development, housed in Gladwin County. Bev has been with the Gladwin County program for 36 years, so welcome, Bev.
Thank you.
That's almost 2 generations.
Oh my goodness, don't look at it like that.
What is 4-H?
Well, 4-H, it's a great program. It's the largest out-of-school, after-school program for youth ages 5 to 19 years old. And we have the 4-H Clover Buds for 5 to 8-year-olds, we call them, and then the 9 to 19-year-olds are the young members, juniors, and teenagers, the teenagers group. So we work across the board with them in the 4-H program.
And work with them doing what?
We have volunteer 4-H leaders, wonderful leaders that will take time out of their busy schedules, and they will work with the kids in a 4-H club setting or after school program, or just a year-round, or it could be a 6-week spin club. We call them spin clubs now. It's just a 6-week kind of introduction to the different 4-H projects that we have available for the kids to get involved in.
And what are some of these projects they can get involved in?
Some of the projects we have, starting with your livestock, your beef, sheep, swine, horse, and the animals. It's usually a typical along the whole year process, because by the time they purchase their animals and then start working with them and raise them, and then able to show probably at the county fairs or some individual shows they might have too. Then we have our short-term clubs. In Gladwin County, we just started Crafty Workers 4-H Spin Club, and it was a 6-week program getting new kids involved in crafts. We haven't had the craft program in a long time. So we got the kids involved with the crafts, or we could do cooking, just all projects across the board. I could list computers. You don't have to be on a farm to be in 4-H anymore.
Oh.
That was the old way of thinking, I think, when they started a long time ago.
And when did that change to go beyond the animals?
The Smith-Lever Act of 1914 allowed the land-grant universities, which is Michigan State University, to have federal, state, and local funding to go to each of the counties in Michigan. So there is an MSU extension program in each county in Michigan. I think there's 2 counties that they kind of split the funding, or is not funded as of right now, but they're working on that. So, and back then, you remember, it was cows and cooking clubs, basically raising your beef cattle, your animals. The kids are learning how to do that. And also the food preservation, canning, and gardening projects. So from then, and with the 1920s going through, and the 1930s and the Depression, the kids still started, learn different cows and cooking type of thing. So when I started, and I was in the same thing, sewing and showed beef cattle. When I was in the county 4-H program in Midland County here. So then it started developing more projects. Well, let's get the kids, it's not just living on the farm anymore. I had a 4-H a leader come in the office one day, and she goes, I just moved on a farm now. I was living in the city in Gladwin. I can be a 4-H leader now. And I said, no, you could have been one before too. So computers. I had a great electric called Livewires 4-H Club out of Beaverton, and the leader has since passed, Bill Mercer, just a wonderful person, and he did computers and electronics with the kids. So it's just a wide array of different projects.
How do they get badges like Boy and Girl Scouts?
No, we have, through the National 4-H Council, we have 4-H year pins, so we give out the year pins to the kids. So that's kind of neat to do. And some counties have a vest or a sash to put the pins on. Whatever, each of the counties are different in having their 4-H program what they give out: rosettes, medals, but not badges.
So it's volunteer led.
Yes. Yes.
Depending on interest in the community.
Yes, and what
or
we
the county.
Right, and so if we have a volunteer leader come in and say, "I'd like to join or run a 4-H club or have a 4-H club, but I don't know anything about gardening or whatever." So our motto is "Learn by doing." So the leader, the volunteer, can learn right along with the kids, and we have curriculum that we use, research-based educational programming that we use to give to the leaders, and we train the leaders. And if they have an interest, and usually the kids will get them started, and the parents will get involved. And well, since your kids are involved in 4-H, we need someone else to start chaperoning. That's kind of how I got started chaperoning with my 4-H with my younger brothers and sisters in 4-H programs. So and so then we kind of rope them in and say, okay, now that you're a 4-H parent, how about becoming a resource leader or a part-time leader? But we still get them through that way.
So the commitment is for a semester or a
No,
year
it could
or
be
that spin, like a few weeks?
Sure, it could be the spin club, or it could be the whole year. Or we have a 56-year 4-H leader right now in Gladwin County. 56 years she's given her time, volunteered her time with the county 4-H horse program. So you can
Congratulations
do
to
that.
her.
I know,
Yeah.
it's very cool.
That is cool. So they meet once a week, or is that up to the leader?
That's up to the leaders. In our county, in Gladwin County, we meet. The kids meet year-round, probably once a month if it's a year-round club. The spin club is 6 weeks, once a week. I'm doing a Build Your Future program for non-4-H and 4-H kids, and I'm just running 2-hour sessions for 3 nights. So it just depends on what your volunteer, what your time is, what you'd like to do. So
what is Build Your Future about?
Build Your Future,
obviously, but what does it cover?
Build Your Future is a careers, choices, and connections. It's one of my job roles as a 4-H or as extension educator in the Children and Youth Institute. I work with all youth of all ages, and one of my I'm on 2 statewide work group teams: the Career Exploration Workforce team and the Academic Success Life Skill team. And so we're more specialized as an educator, while each of the counties now have 4-H program coordinators in each of the counties, whether full-time or part-time. That's what they're looking for or working towards at the state. So anyways, as the Build Your Future, our work group team wrote a grant and did a curriculum on, and now it's a national 4-H curriculum. So Build Your Future, we have the kids come in, they talk about needs and wants, choices. What do they want to do? How do they want to find out what they want to do? We give them online programming. We have a really cool notebook that the kids get and a workbook, and we just go through it with them. And they kind of start thinking about what they want to do when they grow up, or what they want to do after high school.
Boy, that's so helpful.
So it's Monday nights. We're gonna try it in Gladwin, and we've done state trainings for other volunteers to come in and do it. But one of my 4-H volunteer leaders took the training with me, so we're going to come back and team teach it. So that's great. It's like 12 different modules or lessons or sessions, but we're going to tie some together. But it's a neat curriculum. It's really good.
So 4-H started out with an agricultural focus and training kids or young people, to have responsibility and knowledge through taking care of an animal.
Correct.
For a period of time. And then branched out to these other fields in the 50s, 60s, 80s, 90s?
I would go 50s, 60s, because I know there was 4-H camps then. We have a really neat 4-H, it's called 4-H Exploration Days, and I'm believing that started in 1996, but it's a chance for kids to come to Michigan State University for 2.5 days in June, and they can pick 1 or 2 classes, and they live right in the dorms. They can pick a full session Wednesday afternoon, Thursday all day, and Friday morning, or 2 half sessions. There's over 200 projects that the kids can take part of, whether it's the food and nutrition, they can go sailing and just learn I did a food preservation one year with the canning project, and I've taught line dancing. I've taught softball.
Good for
So
you.
it's just between leisure and recreation. Now I'm working on the business and entrepreneurship classes. I have 6 classes I'm in charge of.
Oh, tell us about that. I'd love to know about that.
Well, that's so these kids have all this job, choose. There's like I said, a variety. So they get to learn, and then they go take the classes, go back to the counties, and then work with the 4-H, the county 4-H program coordinator to either start a club or develop more interest in that certain project area. The 4-H Exploration Days, the business and entrepreneurship piece I'm doing. I just did this a couple years now. Every change is all over. So it used to be campus led, now it's statewide educators led with the programs. So one of my classes is going solo, and it's a cool, it's a half session class, and it's teaching kids about starting your own career, starting your own business. And you're taking off on your own and going solo. So and that's a national curriculum available. A couple other classes, Life on a Dairy Farm. So it's just not raising dairy cattle. You can be a quality inspector. You can be, I have 2 dairy farms that we're going to work at going to next year, not this year. But just to see hands-on, there's just not just raising, there's just all aspects of the dairy industry the kids can get involved in. So just kind of give them a feel of what's out there. If they like the dairy area, then how many different areas, Farm Bureau or Select Sire, or just different aspects of the dairy industry. Another one of my classes is marketing your 4-H livestock, beginning and then advanced. And what it is, it's kind of taking your animal and in stimulation and paying for the animal, how you're going to take care of it, just charting with the animals and the cost, and at the end, say you sold your animal for $3 a pound, what am I making, and did I get money, or what costs, and talk about feed and medication and housing of the animals. So that's a couple of the classes there. And another, it is cool. And then the Be the E is a basic entrepreneur program where the kids work in teams and they develop their own business. They have material that will give to them, and last year was my first time to sit in that class. And these kids these days, just amazing what the creativity they come up with. A hair dryer with it's just different things. Whatever we give them materials, they come up with their own business. Then they share it and they try to sell it to us. So, so that's kind of cool. It's neat.
So, I think I'm hearing you say that 4-H is now so flexible. It can focus on almost any area. I don't want to say yes, almost any area, provided there's volunteer interest.
Correct.
And backup.
Correct.
Professional backup. And that's driven by the kids or the volunteer.
Yes.
Now, Boy Scouts, is that a more rigid program, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts?
I was a Girl Scout, growing up Brownies and a Girl Scout. I want to say it's kind of along the same line, but again, we're research-based education. We have that arm with Michigan State University Extension. The MSU Extension is a department from the College of Ag and Natural Resources. So we have a lot of the specialists on campus that teach the horse or the cow or cattle or whatever, the agriculture areas. We can use those specialists back in our county. So I'm not saying yay or nay with the Boy Scouts, that's a good program too, but with Extension, I think the research and the curriculum we have and just that outreach of MSU Extension in our counties all around Michigan, that we're able to get resources, materials, and share with each other. So.
One of the things I really like about you is your enthusiasm for it.
Thank you. I grew up.
Did you
4-H.
start life that way, as enthusiastic, or when you come from a farm background, you have to be enthusiastic?
I think so. Oldest of 5 children, and I did all the chores first. I keep telling my siblings that I had to do all the chores before they started getting older. But I started in 4-H. I showed my dad had beef cattle, so he raised beef. I showed beef cattle and sewing projects, my skirt and the apron. I remember I had to make the skirt, just the A-line skirt, and then the apron just with the pockets in it, pockets with or without. So I started with that, and then with the 4-H, with the then basically, I don't know if I went to, I don't think I went to 4-H camp when I was younger. My siblings did, but I didn't. I think because they took more time with my mom and dad. I was oldest, so. But I just think, being on the farm, it's just a great thing to be a part of.
Yes. What I love about the program that I'm hearing about is that it gives people a chance to have what you call, I guess it's called hands-on, learn by doing.
Yes, it is.
And also, once you feel you can do something, I think you get more confident and more willing to try something else that you don't know.
You're right on that one too. With the Children and Youth Institute from MSU, which I'm part of there, it's youth development. So we're looking at developing the kids the life skills that they can use later on in their life and make choices, decision making. We have a life skill wheel that I go out to different fairs or to farm markets or even to 4-H clubs, and it's a big wheel with life skills on it, and the kids come up and spin. And so I say, okay, if you landed on the decision making, what does that mean? And then they'll, how are you going to learn about making decisions? Then we get them talking. That's the whole thing, is getting the kids talking. When we do a project with them, we do the experiential learning, and where we say, okay, they do the project, they experience the project, then we talk about the project and what did you learn, what did you like? Then we process what. So we give them some questions, they answer from there, and then the next step is, what would you do if you're not in 4-H now, but something else comes up? How would you use that, what you learn there, with something else in sports or school or whatever, or church or whatever they'd like to do? So,
and haven't you learned that in your own life as the job at the extensions seemed to get bigger or different, and now it's different again? How is it going to be different again?
Well, right now we have the 4-H program coordinator in each of the counties, and they're coordinating the 4-H program. Then us educators, we're out in the counties there in different counties and doing statewide programming. So I think more we're able to get out, like say at Oscoda County or Otsego, the 4-H program coordinator, say, hey, I need somebody to come in and work with my leaders on life skills. So I think we're specialized more, and I think that will help with the local 4-H program coordinators, their roles, because they're just, like I said, coordinating their own county roles now, or their own county 4-H program. So we can come in and teach them parliamentary procedure. We have another 4 teams, statewide teams within the Children Youth Institute, and one will go in and leadership development with the kids, or someone will come in and do the science education program. Like I said, I'm life skills and career exploration workforce. So if a county program coordinator says, I'd like some work in this area, we go there and help. So I think the more specialized, and I think that will focus the individual program coordinators to kind of do more in their county and offer more.
Everyone talks about the hurried child, the busy child, because in addition to school, they have volunteer activities, or they have usually athletics.
Yes.
So how does 4-H, is 4-H being pushed to the margins or pushed to the center in that?
I've been involved with the last 36 years in looking at Gladwin County. The majority of the kids are in the livestock project, and we do have volunteers come in and off. We had a clown club for a couple years, really cool.
Cute.
It was just fun and able to go out in the community and just, the kids once they get behind their mask or whatever, they just really opened up. But the leader moved on, so then we didn't have anybody to kind of come in and cover or follow through with that. So I think in Gladwin County, with kids on the farm, or not even the farm, I know some of the grandparents now are having the animals at their house or whatever. The kids, maybe a friend will have the animals at their house too. The kids can go work and take care of the animals at. But I think it's a choice the kids have to make. And I know when we have a big buyers banquet after the fair, and to honor the buyers that purchase the animals, their livestock animals, the beef, sheep, and swine at the fair, a big banquet. And I know sometimes sports gets in the way, but the kids can kind of go work around it. They can come in early, set up, or come back and clean up. So I think it's a choice kids need to make, and it's hard. I know, it is hard.
Does it function in cities as well?
Oh, yes.
Now that they've lateralized to other projects?
Yeah, and there's, like I said, there's a county extension office in every city or every county,
Right.
and within that, I know
What a
in Wayne
wonderful
County there's like 5 different outreach offices, and I'm not really familiar. Macomb, Wayne, and Oakland are huge counties, but I know they have outreach offices, and there's 4-H staff in there too.
So what did you learn all these 36 years? How did you grow? What?
Oh, I can talk in front of a TV station.
Yeah, good for you.
And
That takes courage.
I think the public, just being in front of people, shy growing up, I don't know, I think I was, I'm not sure, but learning to kind of get along with people and being flexible. I know with volunteers, you deal with difficult volunteers, and I think I've worked my way through, and I've always had a phone number to call from campus that will come in and help, whatever, too. But I just think growing and just seeing the kids. I have kids come back first year from 4-H. This past winter or Christmas break, I had a 4-H, 4 sons, one from a family of 4 boys. She was one of my first 4-H leaders, a cooking leader, and she, her son, one of them I got really close with in 4-H camp, and he moved to Melbourne, Florida, and just a really cool kid. He has like 9 kids now, and I saw him over spring or Christmas break with his other 2 siblings, and just visited with them, and just the specialty of how 4-H really helped me. It's just really good. You saw me through this. Yeah, so that's what's really cool. And on, of course, Facebook.
How do you get along with difficult people? What could you recommend to people who are in this situation now?
Communicate. And don't email or text. Just visit with somebody. Come in and just talk, because it's more than likely it's something on their mind that they have that's bothering is something else. But just if you sit and talk, and if they know that you're caring and want to listen and hear what they have to say, I think, and of course there's little activities or scenarios you can do with working with the difficult people too, to work with them. But they're out there, but it's, again, you just need to work with them and just be kind and consider and listen to them. I think that's probably the big thing.
Oh, so it takes time too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You think people listen?
Well, I hope they do.
Yes.
I think we need to more. I think we do. We have there's a couple of MSU extension classes, or what is called dealing with difficult people, and there's a whole notebook on it. So there is activities and way to bring people out and say what's really bothering you, or let's try to work this out, or bring both people in. If there's 2 people, bring them both in, and just, I think the communication is, and having them talk, and I think that's helped me with mine in the past. So.
What did your parents teach you about getting along and
doing
the job?
I remember the spanking. No, I'm just kidding. No, sorry, Dad. Well, with growing up on a farm, and we were just busy on the farm and outdoors and playing, and so I don't remember, going to church Sundays, being involved with 4-H, and like I said, growing up sports and stuff too. But siblings we're 2 years apart, so there's 8 years difference of ages too. So I think just I'm not sure. I think whatever they taught me, I've learned to.
What did you stress with your own children?
A good question. I hope I taught them that by how I've worked with people, because they grew up with me with the 4-H, and they were in 4-H too, but they were very active with sports and other areas too. But and I didn't force them to be in 4-H. I just thought, just an opportunity if they wanted to. And Mom's going to another 4-H meeting, so but we had to go set chairs up or put whatever, but so they learn at a young age. But I think getting along with people, just being friendly, just caring about people. I think that's what I look at. Both my kids now. One's a teacher, working with elementary kids and as coaches 3 seasons, and my daughter is working with a group of people in her office, and just getting along. And I think just showing people that. I just look at, from when I go to see my son coach, I just look at the people, admire him. So I think hopefully they learn some of that from me and take it on to their individual roles too. So.
How do you keep yourself fresh? How do you keep yourself in that sort of enthusiastic, energetic state?
I guess I just keep going. I do crash. But I'm looking forward to, I have a couple, we go to National 4-H Agents Conference. This year in October we went to Portland, Oregon, and just you go there, you see people from all over the United States that are in the youth development piece, and you're all wanting to work together with the kids and volunteers and showing them, you know, what's available for them out there. So that kind of gets me going. And then we have a children and youth conference with our state staff, and I've just been around the state a lot and just, you know, making some really good friendships and keeping involved with the people you work with, and then with local friends too. They keep me busy. So,
gee, it's just a really impressive program. Very impressive.
Thank you.
So don't retire.
No, yeah, I know. I know.
No. It's the opposite of what. It just reminds me that we are all teachers, and we are all learners too from the people around us.
Correct.
And
right. Yeah.
therefore, it's beholden on the non-kids to be good teachers wherever we are, in whatever role we have.
You're right. Right.
And also to make time for the younger people, whether it's 4-H or some other project, even though we're a youth-centered society.
Right. Yes, we are. Well, right now I'm going into Beaverton schools with the after-schools program Sparks. I'm not familiar with that. It's just after school, kids come together for a couple hours, and so I'm going down there. I'm doing financial literacy with the kids, money, activity games. I'm going to be teaching them folk and square dancing, because we've lost that kind of in the back, but it's exercise and healthy living. And then I'll do the life skill wheel with them too. So.
Thank you, Bev. It's been wonderful being with you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Say a few words here. So, Bev is the living epitome of a good life, right? Everything she touches, she makes better through her job, but also through her involvement with sports and her community and her children. And I think we have to think of ourselves as all role models and what kind of people we need to be, and consciously choose, just like you take a financial literacy course, review how you want to be polite, be generous, talk to people. Hard sometimes when you disagree, but find their truth if you can. So I'm thrilled she was here. Have a good week. Remember, go out and do something wonderful for someone you know and someone you don't know. Do it again, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
To contact Junia, send her an email at info@juniadone.com. For more information, program schedules, and news about future guests, go to www.juniadone.com. Thanks for joining us. See you next time for Uncommon Sense with Junia Doan.
Local productions on QTV are made possible with support from viewers like you. Thank you.